What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today we have got 19 games worth of gameplay in this episode. After 21 games I was 15 wins and 6 losses, which is pretty good. Through the next 19 games, I'm going to give a spoiler for the end result, but you can enjoy the gameplay as you wish. I won 15 of my last 19 games. I actually won 16 of my last 20 games, which is where I really want to be. The 8-2 on average per 10 games is where I want to be. And the first 20 games I was actually 14-6, and then the second 20 games I was 16-4. And my aim is really to try and just get back to where I was 3 months ago, and that was getting Elite minimum every week, sometimes Elite 2. This week we get Elite 3 again. That's now 4 consecutive weeks that I've got Elite again. I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy that I've managed to stay consistent after a real bad patch of FIFA. I remember through the back end of February and the beginning of March, I was playing bad FIFA. I was getting more angry and irate than ever before. I started slapping my desk and shouting a lot more. And I read something on Reddit about somebody else that was took themselves from Gold 3 to Elite 1 in the space of 8 weeks, and I read what they did to do that, and I read their tips and stuff. And even though that person, when they were Gold 3, wasn't a good player as me, they took a lot of things that weren't to do with FIFA and applied them to their style of play and actually made them a better player. And those were things like remaining calm during losses, taking breaks after tense games, whether you win or you lose. And although I don't necessarily always have the luxury to do that, I don't always have the luxury to take a break, because for me personally and for most other YouTubers and streamers, it's very time sensitive, and indeed for anyone who has any obligations through the weekend, right? It's very time sensitive sometimes that you can't walk away and you can't take a break and you have to play through it. But I read that, and over the last 4 weeks I've been really trying to take that on board and move forward with that. And what I've come to the conclusion with is that once again it's my Saturdays that are screwing me. This Saturday for this weekend league, I won 5 and lost 4 of 9 games. I only played 9 games on Saturday. I wasn't sure I was going to finish all 40 games this weekend league, because I was like, look, I can get Elite 3 for the month without stress. Maybe I'll just take a couple chilled weekends. But I'm when I sit there with games left and time on the clock, I'm like, well, I might as well just play them. So I carried on playing and I carried on playing, and eventually I got through all my 40 games. So I managed to get 30 wins this week, 30 wins last week, and 29 wins the week before, and 29 wins the week before, but that doesn't count for this month's monthly reward. So 29, 30 and 30 leaves me on 89 wins, and you need 112 wins to get Elite 1 for the month. So I only need 23 wins next weekend to get Elite 1 for the month. One thing that I did on this Sunday again, and you'll see I go through big spells of winning streaks and stuff again, is I just played the games as they came. I was like, look, let me just make sure it's so hard to do sometimes, and it's so easy to do sometimes, is playing a game and then once you're finished, just literally trying to forget that game ever happened, whether you win it or you lose it, and just go into the next game with no chip on your shoulder, no confidence, no arrogance, no destroying people and so on and so forth, but actually going into the game okay, this is me versus this guy, I need to get the win. So if you can maintain your cool and kind of keep that attitude, you give yourself a really good chance of winning a lot more games than normal. One other thing that I tried this weekend league, once again, although I finished on 30 wins, which I'm very happy with, in 8 of my 10 losses I was winning. Now, so what I was doing, because when I edited the first 19 games, no, the first 21 games, I noticed that I was leading again most of the games that I'd lost. And I was like, okay, so today what I'm going to do is when I go 1-0 up in a game that I feel is quite a tough game, because sometimes I'll go 1-0 up and the opponent's not so great, so I won't change anything, I'll just keep playing and expect myself to be better enough to come out with a win. But sometimes I'll go 1-0 up or just be in a game and I'll be like, wow, this dude's pretty decent, I'm going to have to really play my absolute best and try and minimize my mistakes to get ahead here. And so pros, YouTubers who are super successful, get top 100, etc. When they're in games like that, I've seen people streaming and saying this, like when they're in games like that and they go 1-0 up in a tough game, they'll switch to the 4-2-3-1 or to a 4-1-2-1-2 or a 4-3-3 defensive. You know, when I did the podcast with AA and AA Tunes and #Harry the other week, #Harry said, you know, he'll switch to 4-3-3 defensive in tough games, and he'll play the wings and just try and like kill the clock. So what I started doing is when I went 1-0 up in a game that I felt was quite a tough game, I started switching formation and trying to play a little bit different. And funnily enough, it actually cost me a win in all 4 times that I tried it. No, there was one game that I just lost without going in front in this episode. There was 3 games that I lost in this episode when I'd already taken the lead, and I managed to screw it up because of change formation. And then I was watching Dr. Jabba late Sunday night, so late last night, and no matter what the score is, he never changes his formation or his tactics, and he never changes his aggressive attacking playstyle. So I sat there after I finished my games and I thought, damn man, had I just stayed in the 4-3-2-1 and stayed attacking those tough opponents when 1-0 up, would I have eventually won 1 or even 2 more of those games? Would I have actually managed to get an extra win here or there? So next weekend league, especially because I only need 23 wins, what I'm going to try, what I'm going to do is just remain in the 4-3-2-1 for every minute of every game, no matter what. That's kind of what we're going to be doing there. So hopefully, well, we'll see. We'll see how many extra or how many fewer wins I end up picking up off of that, off the back of the fact of I've got to stop listening to what works for other people, because I say to you guys all the time, do what works for you. Just because of, you know, obviously there's like certain things that you need to do in the game, like, you know, what the tutorials say. You know, there are certain like low driven shots that I would say, you know, if you're not doing low driven shots, I would say go do low driven shots. You know, there's a lot of things that I would suggest for you guys to do. But there's also a lot of things that I would suggest you guys not to do just because people say them. And one of those things is mostly using players that people say that you have to use. When somebody says to you, you have to use N'Golo Kante or Paul Pogba or, you know, Chris Smalling or whatever player, just use a player that you like. Don't use a player that somebody's told you to use, because when I went to a meta team, and I don't mean like an OP team like with the legends and the 99s and the team of the years and stuff, when I'm in a meta team, when I went and put De Bruyne's and Pogba's and Kante's into my team, I actually not only did I not enjoy playing FIFA, I got no more wins. I got like the same sort of win streak. So in this game here, guys, I went 1-0 up. This is one of those games where I went 1-0 up and then I changed formation and changed my play style to try and like hold out a win against a real good opponent. And I went 2-1 down. I had a free kick on the edge of his box. I tried to lay it off. As I rolled it sideways, the player that was there to lay it off to, like, just auto lunged for the ball, and I lost the ball, and I lost the game 3-1. It was quite an even game. My opponent had a few more chances than me. I had a bit more possession, and I wanted to show you something to show that I'm not always, after a loss, a negative or horrible person. He messaged me, GG bro, sorry about the first goal, and I just messaged him back, that's FIFA for you, and it was a good game, because quite often you guys will see, like when I'm streaming or on Twitter and stuff, me being like quite angry at the game or at my opponents and saying, you know, oh, this guy played like this and this guy played like that. Well, that game that I lost there 3-1, it was just a very good game. We both tried very hard. We were both very good players. There was nothing wrong in the game. You know, he scored a rebound goal. He wasn't being a dick. He didn't celebrate like a dick, nor did I. It was just a real good contested, like a really highly contested game, like a really top tier game that on another day I could have won, and on this day I lost. And so when he messaged me GG, like even though I lost, I still messaged him GG. So I wanted to show you that, because there are some times where people will message me GG bro, and it wasn't a good game. Like, it was a game where someone, you know, scored a lucky goal off of a set piece or a counter attack or off of a kickoff or something like that, and then they sit deep, like 5 at the back, and literally just shield the ball in the corner, and then afterwards they're like, ah, GG man, like really fun game. And it's like, no, that wasn't a good game. Like, I understand why you play like that, but it wasn't a good game. But in the game there where I lost 3-1, it was a good game. The guy was constantly attacking me. He was trying his best to get back into the game. And when he got to the lead at 2-1 up, he wasn't like fouling me to break up the play. He didn't go defensive. He didn't hold the ball or anything like that. He just played his game. So I enjoyed that game, even though I lost. I enjoyed it. And I knew that even though I lost, I came out of that game. And this is what I tried to say to people on stream the other day. I came out of that game knowing that I had played my best FIFA. I had given it my best. I'd given it my best shot, and it just wasn't good enough on that occasion. And it was one of those situations, again, where with that free kick in the 90th minute, for some reason, I laid it off. Maybe I rushed it. I had options. I could have done something different. I could have shot the free kick. I could have chipped it into the box. But what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd lay it off, try and get a long shot from the top of the box and see if I can either get a corner to produce another goal or score the goal to take it into extra time. As I've laid it off, the player like takes one step, lunges forwards, and then that's that. You know, I just completely missed the ball and missed the counter attack, and well, not missed the counter attack, but my opponent got the counter attack, and that was that basically. So that was just unfortunate. It was just unfortunate. I can't be mad about that. I have to take I've got my coffee here. It's going cold. Big up to Sports Direct. They didn't like this. Not an ad. It's not an ad. I ordered some trousers, some like gym trousers from Sports Direct. They sent a cup, so that was great. But anyway, James Goodwin, title of the video. I didn't expect to spend 11 minutes talking about gameplay like that, so I apologise. But the title of the video is going to be about Player of the Month, Dele Alli. No, Player of the Year, Dele Alli, and Player of the Year, N'Golo Kante. And the reason why that's a title is because that's actually the first question that I've got, which I was going to answer straight away, but obviously I didn't get around to. James Goodwin says, hey, Nep, just wondering, will you be doing the Young Player of the Year Ali and the Player of the Year Kante SBC? My first instinct is no, I won't be, but I might. It's a weird situation because if like they're really high rated, right? They're really high rated. Let me go on to one of the websites. So Dele Alli is a 91 rated card ahead of his 86 rated Player of the Month card. And N'Golo Kante is a 92 rated card ahead of his 86 rated card. Now these are for the best player and the best young player of the year in the division. So there is some debate right now about whether or not their team of the season cards, because if Dele Alli is the best young player in the league this year and Kante is the best player in the league this year, there's no way that they don't get team of the season cards, right? There is some debate now whether or not their team of the season cards will be higher rated, lower rated, or re-releases of these cards as team of the season colours in packs. For example, so Kante will be a 92 rated team of the season. So my thought process is this, and I've got 18 days to decide, or 17 more days to decide. My thought process is this. As we get more information or no information, if their team of the season cards are seemingly going to be higher rated, I don't want to do these cards. And if their team of the season cards are going to be lower rated by 1 or the same rating, I don't want to do these cards. However, if Kante's team of the season, but he's, like I said, his 86 card right now is his best card. If his team of the season is a 90 rated, I would want this 92 rated card. The difference is, like, team of the season is literally, we're talking weeks now. 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And then team of the season is going to be here, maybe as many as 4 weeks, but probably not. You know, the most consistent has been decided now, which would indicate not maybe this Friday, maybe next Friday. Like it's close. And the EPL is traditionally the first team of the season after most consistent. So if team of the season started in 2 weeks, it would be 3 weeks until the Premier League team of the season. And so if Kante and Dele Alli get team of the season cards, they will be tradable. You know, like, so why would I want an untradeable 92 Kante that costs 1 million coins to complete when his team of the season card will be 93 or 94 or 95 rated, if it's higher rated, will be tradable and will be as cheap, if not cheaper, because team of the season cards are very, very commonly pulled and are traditionally traditionally quite cheap. Obviously, this is a brand new year. A lot's different this year compared to other years. But the simple answer is, dude, is I don't know if I want to do them yet or not. I did the Dele Alli SBC because I put in my red 84 Dele Alli that I got from the monthly rewards. I've bought an 86 Kante for 290k. I could have sold him for 500k. I'll show you at the end of the video. I could have sold him for 500k. He's now about 350 again now. But his price will just continue to rise until something changes, something happens, this runs out, or Team of the Season is announced. Because the more people that complete this, every one person that completes this, they remove a special Kante card off the market, which increases his value because there's less supply but the same or more demand. So we'll talk a bit more about that investment in the near future. But the cards look great. Kante's card looks very, very good. Like, very, very good. But I am super impressed with Dele Alli's card. Like, if you look at his in-games as well, although his shooting is 93, it's so low because his penalties are 65, which brings it way down. Everything else is in the mid-90s and 99 positioning and 89 volleys. For his passing, again, it's actually very, very good. His short passing is 99, his vision is 92, his long passing is 88, and the reason why his passing is actually quite low is because his free kicks are 55 and his crossing is 79. His dribbling is exceptional, his defending is very good, his physical is very good. It's the sort of thing where I would personally put like a shadow card on him, and he goes to 97 pace, 94 dribbling, 93 shooting, 90 passing, 90 physical, and 88 defending. That is an exceptional, exceptional card. And in the same vein, if you look at Kante, you could put a Catalyst on him. No, wait, maybe a Hunter on him. Yeah, Hunter on him. He goes 99 pace, 93 shooting, 91 passing, 92 for dribbling and defending, and 94 physical. And it's just the most sensational card. So they are two of the best cards that you will possibly use this year. However, again, it takes me back to the situation of, are we going to get Team of the Season cards that are better, the same, or worse? And that will be the dictator of whether or not I get these cards. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do them or not, dudes. I don't know. I apologise, but I don't know. Connor Miller says, Nep could talk about paint drying on a wall and make it interesting. Interesting. I don't think I could, but I might try it one video. I might try and talk about paint drying and see what we can do with that. We'll give it a go. Rohan Maini says, hey Nep, I have another idea about FIFA 18. I think that in the Team of the Week, they should have a Team of the Week manager or a Manager of the Month SBC, and they can give boosts to certain players from that club. So if next season Brighton beat Chelsea 3-0 and it was a tactical masterclass, then Chris Houghton will get an informed manager card. Any Brighton players in your team will get a boost. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. Love the vids and keep it up from Delhi. Well, thank you for the kind words and the message. I requested something like this back in FIFA 13 or maybe even earlier, when the chemistry system really started to like get considered. I think they should have informed managers and legend managers. So I think an informed manager should give +2 boost in. Well, like I believe chemistry should be removed or reworked entirely, but. Okay, so, because I know people are going to be like, oh, last video you said that chemistry shouldn't be here. Now you're saying, like, so my belief is chemistry should be either entirely removed or reworked to a progression system. That is my ultimate belief and want from this game. However, in the current system, to make it a lot more fun and make squad building a lot more creative, I believe that, yeah, an informed manager that gives +2 instead of +1 boost would be great. And a legend manager that just gives +2 boost across the board to everyone would be great. Because at that point, you could put any player... Let's say you have 11 players that get no links to each other but are in the correct position. And they have loyalty and they have the legend manager boost, which would be +2 across the board to everyone, +1 loyalty, and then they get 4 from each position. You would have 7 chemistry on every single player and 77 team chemistry. That is fantastic. So I think something like that would be a real great addition to the game, and it will just create a lot more squads, a lot more creativity, a lot more interesting teams and players that you never usually use that you can literally just put in anywhere and still get the chemistry. And then also players that you only have 1 link to can get the ratings. For example, if you play Lacazette at striker and Anthony Martial at left forward in a 4-3-2-1, Lacazette will only get 8 chemistry. However, with a legend manager, he'll bump up to 9 chemistry. Far, far better. So yeah, I agree. Let's go for this. Dariush Tomlinson says, "Hi again, Nep," and then in brackets, hopefully. Well, yeah. I mean, we're here. Many people have been discussing new game modes in FIFA, including the five-a-side mode. Personally, I think that this will bring a good variety to FIFA, as it would be a completely different experience. If this game mode was to be added, do you think it should be sensible for EA to make it part of Foot Champs? No, I don't. I'll just say that. Maybe 20 games of normal FIFA and 20 games of five-a-side. The five-a-side players could also be obtained from SBCs, example 2 five-a-side player packs, or just special SBCs like David Luiz and Torres like we have now. These would add new SBCs, as well as EA have to think differently with SBCs for FIFA 18, so everybody doesn't know what to expect. I mean, I would again disagree there. I already think people just don't know what to expect. EA are so, like, there are some predictable things like marquee matchups and the league SBCs, but they've done a good job of keeping them fresh, in my opinion. Love your videos, keep up the good work. Also, if EA removed chemistry from the game, as you suggested, what would be the point of Legends that they would not link to everything? Well, then you could just use them as a legend, Your comment there suggests that the sole purpose of Legends is just to link to players and not to be used as a player in the game, which I think is a wrong way to look at it. People use Legends because they're very, very good players. They're legends. They're the elite players of the games. Obviously, there are some Legends worse than others. But the point of a legend would be exactly the same as it is now. Like, would you say, oh, I'm no longer going to use Ruud Gullit because he no longer gives me the links that I need to link people around? No, of course you wouldn't. You'd still be like, well, I'd still use Ruud Gullit. In terms of five-a-side and Foot Champs, no. Foot Champs you can't just go adding gimmicky game modes into an already broken competitive game mode. You know, that doesn't make sense. However, I do agree that five-a-side will be a phenomenal feature to have in the game. I definitely think and want a five-a-side game mode. And this is, again, like the manager thing. This is something I've actually asked for or talked about in videos for many years. I don't understand why it's not in the game. It used to be in the game in FIFA 09 and maybe FIFA 10. But imagine an Ultimate Team game. Imagine this as an Ultimate Team game mode. Five-a-side, but two, like, variants of it. So variation number 1 would be like your Ultimate Team. You just get 5 players there and 3 players on the bench, and you just go into seasons or cups or whatever with your five-a-side. It's indoor, small goals. You could have it like the five-a-side, like the professional five-a-sides, where it's like a big goal with a goalkeeper, or you can have it with the little goals, like in FIFA Street, where there's no goalkeeper. But five-a-side with your Ultimate Team players. So I could take, for example, you would have maybe, what, 1 defender, 2 midfielders, 2 attackers. Is that like a formation in five-a-side? So yeah, I would have, like, you know, I'll take my my Luis Suarez, my Romelu Lukaku up front. I'd put in like Chris Smalling in at centre-back, or whatever defender I use, like Reed or Bailly in at centre-back, and then a couple of creative midfielders in there, and play five-a-side FIFA. That would be great. But another great addition to a five-a-side game mode would, in Ultimate Team as well, would be kind of like clubs, but where you've got your own virtual pro, and you join a team. So you have a team, so you play as only your character in five-a-side. So then I could play with you guys in a five-a-side game, or I could play with other YouTubers and make videos on it in a five-a-side game. I think it would be an amazing, amazing addition to the game. I'm not overly keen on some of your ideas, but again, that's just my personal preference and opinion. Like, some people might listen to your ideas and think, wow, that sounds incredible. You know, that would be great in the game. But for me personally, I don't believe so. Anyway, more coffee. It's definitely going to be completely cold by the end of this video. Next up is Beateen Kines. Says, hey Nep, any chance of a weekly or monthly videos on your fitness journey and home gym? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm a long ways from having the gym set up to a point where I'd actually be happy showing it and such. Not that you guys would care, but right now I need mats on the floor. I need a few other machines. I'm waiting for a weight rack to come. Like, there's a long way to go on it. But in terms of like giving vlogs and recording it, I do so much of my life gets put onto YouTube and onto the internet, that though there are times where there are certain things that I just want to do for me. One of those things, interesting enough, we talked about last episode, and that's playing PUBG. Somebody asked yesterday, oh, you know, you play PUBG, why don't you upload that to YouTube? And the simple solution is because then for every PUBG game now takes 20 to 40 minutes, depending on how far in the game you get to. And that's 20 to 40 minutes of enjoyment for me, and I enjoy streaming that and interacting with people. If I then had to turn that into a video, that's then another 20 to 40 minutes of editing, another 20 minutes of rendering, another 20 minutes of upload, and so now a 20 to 40 minute entertainment set for me becomes a 2-hour job and a chore and something that would get very tiresome very quickly. And so I don't want working out to be that same kind of thing. I don't want to like get to the gym, go down to my garage and go into the gym and think, okay, right, I've got to set up the cameras, got to make sure I've recorded everything, then I've got to work out, got to make sure all the recordings during the working out is fine, then I've got to edit it, and then I've got to upload that to YouTube and make sure I've got everything right there. It takes something that should have been something for me into something that then becomes a job. And whilst I completely understand that, what I do is a very luxurious job, it's, I'm very privileged to be in a situation, I put plenty of hours into YouTube, 1 video a day minimum on each channel, sometimes 2 videos a day, and some days 3 videos a day on the main channel, depending on what EA do. I spend my weekends playing FIFA. Like I need some time to just either play games for me wanting to play games, or to work out for me wanting to work out. I'm not the kind of person that like vloggers like Syndicate and Roman Atwood and stuff. They put their life is their vlogs. I'm not a vlogger, so I don't want my life to become my work yet. Maybe in the future I'll shift away from gaming and move into vlogging. Who knows? But for right now, it's something I've thought about. It's even something I've spoke about. I don't know if it's something I want to do. So I'll have to keep you updated on that one, bro. Michael Orn says, have you ever thought about playing Rocket League? Good stress-free games which can be very relaxing, fun thing to do while taking a 5-minute break from foot champs especially. Yeah, I used to play Rocket League back when it was called Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars. Way back on the PS1, I believe, or PS2, before Rocket League became super popular and stuff. But Rocket League wouldn't be I don't know. I don't know if I want to play another game in between games of FIFA. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I don't have the luxury sometimes to take 10, 15, 20-minute breaks, especially between every game. It would be too much. It would be too much. But I have thought about it. Thomas Waysberg says, hey Nep, I just want to ask you who you think is the better centre-back from the EPL. I used Smalling, Inform Reed, Inform Azpilicueta and Foot Birthday Bonnet, and I can't decide who is better. This is one of those situations, dude, where you just got to go with your gut instinct. For me, out of those 4, I would personally go with Bonnet and Inform Reed. I used Azpilicueta and he was fine, but I didn't resonate with him. I've used Smalling for nearly 1,000 games and I enjoy him thoroughly, but I feel like I enjoy Bonnet and Reed more. Yeah, you gotta go with what, like, when you build your team, what is your first instinct to put in that spot? Put that person in that spot. You'll enjoy it far more. Pat Roach says, hey Nep, I just played Foot Champs and got Gold 3 and auto-qualified for next week, but I'm probably unlikely to play my games as I have upcoming exams for schools. So am I allowed to share my account with friends so that they can play for me or not? It would mean a lot if you could respond. Long-time fan from Australia. You're not allowed. No, you're not allowed. However, whether or not you do it, and then whether or not you get punished for doing it, I don't know, man. I know a lot, like, I watch a few streamers that play Weekend League games on accounts of viewers just for fun. Like, if you ever watch Messiah, he plays on quite a few of his subs accounts on Weekend League. Nothing's ever happened there. So, are you allowed to do it? No, it is against EA's terms of service. What will happen if you did it? I couldn't speak to that. I couldn't say one way or the other. Is it worth it? Probably not. Yeah, I couldn't say one way or another. So once again, here we are at the end. Ishan says, hey Nep, do you see the show or AA's podcast ever coming back? I know it's difficult to get everyone in one place at one time for an hour plus, but would like to know how high up your list of priorities is, because I know a lot of people as well as myself enjoyed it. Yeah, I know a lot of people asked for it. It would be great to get it back, but as you say, it's super difficult to get that many people to have the same time all the time when everyone's got such busy lives. You know, there's like myself and Bates and the dads. Mini Minter's got all the stuff with the Sidemen and the charity match and stuff going on. A9 Skills lives in a different time zone, and obviously has his own, you know, he's like playing Foot Champs to the highest level. Like, it's real difficult, dude, to get the time together to be able to do that. So will it come back? Probably. Will it be a consistent every week thing? Probably not. So I ended up making it to Elite 3 as well, guys. I was considering stopping at 28 wins, and I say this every time I almost get to Elite and I've got some games left. I was considering stopping, and I asked on Twitter if I should stop or carry on. Some people said stop and save those 2 100k packs for Team of the Season. Some people said carry on and get the, you know, the extra coins and the extra inform pack. And I thought, you know what, I'll play out my last 2 games, and if I win them, I win them, and if I lose them, I lose them. Like, you know, best case scenario, like, it doesn't matter. If I lose them, I finish Gold 1, that's fantastic, and if I win them, I finish Elite 3, that's also fantastic. And as you can tell, I did win them. A really nice load of gameplay here today. Like I said, 3 games of the 4 that I lost in this video, I was winning. So I'm really frustrated that I wasn't able to hold on to those wins, something that I'll try and address a little bit more next week. This is going to be the end of the gameplay though, guys. It's already a 30-minute long video, so I'm going to go into the live section of the video just for 5 minutes, just to show you guys the account, some stats, some things that I've done in the account, and where we're at. But yeah, this is the end of the gameplay, guys. I will be right back. So guys, as I said just in the video there, we finished Elite. I've got a nice coin total back up in the top left-hand corner. We've added a few more packs to the store. I sold a few items. That DeMarcos that I've been trying to sell for ages has finally shifted for 55k. He's going for about 40k. This is a fresh one. There are a few other fresh ones. I checked the market straight away after he sold, because he sold whilst I was asleep. I was listening for 12 hours at a time. And I checked the market, and like there's the cheapest, the average fresh one is about 50k. So I must have got lucky at some stage in the evening where either a lazy buyer picked him up, or he was the cheapest for a period of time where somebody wanted a fresh one. I bought 3 Dele Allis for 100,000 coins when the Player of the Month cards got announced. Sold him for 159, 160, 160 during the hype, and then obviously his price plummeted because people could use that bronze dude, and now his price is rising back up. I started listing some of my EPL investments, like this Keane card here. I picked him up for 20k and sold him on for 30k. That Hahn sold eventually. Messi, obviously, I sold for 440 because he's fresh. Pulisic there sold. A few of the other players there sold. I was thinking about like this Keane, for example. Like, I picked him up for 17,500. I can sell him for like 32,000 or so, maybe 30,000, and that's like 15k profit. But I don't know if I want to, because I wonder if it would be premature to do so. Yeah, sure, I can make some money back off of these cards. And I know his max price is only 50,000 coins, which would indicate that he's not, you know, I'm not going to make that much more off of him. However, if Team of the Season has a special SBC that requires informs, and then specifically informs from the league that a Team of the Season player might be from, surely his price will go even higher. So I'm very, very wary as to whether or not I want to sell these investments. Like all of these informs, I bought all of them for less than 20,000 coins. 14,000 coins for Dost, and he's selling for like only about 23, 24k. But again, that's still like another 6,000 or 7,000 coins profit. Now, if I had done what would have been sensible and bought, instead of 3 or 4 of them, 50 of them, I would sell them. Because if I made 15,000 coins a pop, I'd make 750,000 coins. Brilliant. But when I've only got like 4 or 5 and I'm only making 10 or 15,000 coins a pop, I'm only making 50 to 80,000 coins a time. Not really that fussed, to be honest, with that. I'd rather wait until maybe I could get a little bit more out of them. And I bought them at such a low price that regardless of what happens, I'll always be able to get my money back for them. The club is getting barer and barer and barer. You can see now I only have 3,873 players in the club, which is nice. But I did go and buy, again, during the Player of the Month, when it got announced on Twitter and stuff, I went and bought this orange Kante for 290. His price went up to as high as 500,000 or 600,000, and now he's about 310. So I could still make some profit on him, 5,000, 10,000 coins. But I'm going to keep him until either his price goes way up, because supply versus demand, eventually his price will start going up, or until I decide that I do want to do the Kante SBC and then I need him. So I got him for a relative premium. Although I could actually go and buy, I think there's and this might even be like a smart thing to do anyway. I've got 1.4 million coins. Like Kante's inform card is only like 200,000 coins, I believe. Where are we at? 240. So these are only going to get like this is the cheapest it's going to be. You know what I mean? In another day, it'll be 250. Another day, it'll be 260. Because once somebody buys this to use it, it's gone forever. So there's less and less and less supply as people are doing the Kante SBC. So I don't know if it would be sensible. Like, what would be sensible is for me to go and buy one of these ones at like 233, or the ones to watch at 234 with a shadow. It's sensible to buy this anyway because now I pay 290 for the orange one that I can sell for 320, and I can use this one in the SBC, and it's a ones to watch. So in the last few games, if he does get another inform, his card will still go through the roof of price. So I've now got 2 special Kante cards in the club. But that's what I did with Kante. And then in terms of the score, guys, you can see my win total was pretty funny. 1, 2, 3, 4 right now. Obviously, I had to get there eventually. But I'm very, very happy with my weekend league performance this month. I finished Elite 3 times in a row. Elite 3 times in a row. But overall for the month, we've got 89 wins out of the 120. I would be happier. Next month, I want to try and up my win rate from 75% to about 80 to 85%. That would be much better for me. That would then be 33 to 35 wins. I would really love to push the boundaries there. I haven't been able to do it yet, but hopefully I can. But most importantly is, even if I have the worst weekend of my life and only get 8 wins, I will still finish Elite 3 for the month. If I get 17 wins, I will finish Elite 2 for the month. And if I get the 23 wins that I should be able to get, I will get those 20 red informs at the, a couple of weeks into next month. So very excited that we are going to get Elite 1 for the month. Very happy with the performance in general, getting Elite 3 consecutive weekends, 4 consecutive weekends in a row. But every week this week we've got Elite. So I'm happy with that. And now, interestingly, I get to play with no pressure next week because I should fall into 23 wins. You know, as I say, even if I have like a really, really bad weekend, I've never ever got as low as 23 wins since week 1, which I got 23 wins and I stopped playing because Gold 1 was then, I think, 26 or 27 wins and I couldn't reach it with the games I had left. Yeah, I've never ever got that. I've never done that bad since I got like a semi-decent team and so on and so forth. So I did do the Dele Alli SBC, which gave me a mega pack, which is in there now. But in terms of like how much these would cost me for squad building challenges, where we got the live ones. So Dele Alli, we've done 1 of 6. Team of the week is not really that expensive because I have got already some inform cards that I could use. I've probably already got like 4 or 5 that I could throw in there, no problem. So that wouldn't cost me too much. The 86 rated squad would be it's quite an expensive squad. The Spurs squad is quite an expensive squad, just because it's BPL players, like a team of the week player. England is neither here nor there. MK Dons is a little bit expensive. Now, what I'm going to do throughout the next 5 days. I don't know how I'm going to translate this into videos. I don't know what the videos are going to be for the next 5 days because I'm going to literally use the tools that we have at hand to get as much as we can. I'm going to try and do as many of this 81 double guarantee pack as possible, open them all, and I'm going to be basically condensing my bronzes into silvers, my silvers through into the gold upgrade, the common gold cards into the silver. All those bronzes we use in the bronze upgrade, we get the silver players. All those silver players that we get from that, we use in the silver upgrade. All those gold players that we get in the silver upgrade, we use in the gold upgrade. And then of those rare players, any high rated or usable gold player that we get out of these, we'll put in the Dele Alli and Kante SBCs. Any gold card that we can't use in those, we will put in the 81 double guarantee upgrade, and then we'll condense it into all of those, and then we'll open all of those, and then once again, any usable cards that we can get, we'll put into SBCs, and anything else we'll put back into the 81 double guaranteed upgrade. So to do that, I need a lot of time. So I'm going to be streaming a lot of this account. You're going to see a lot changing in this account, and so I don't know how much gameplay we're going to get for the next week. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what I'm going to do on this channel for the next week. I might just do a live game, a Ruin a Randomer style video every day, because it'll be easy for me to do that. So that's where we're at. But anyway, guys, I'm going to no, wait, before I end, let me show you. Let me just show you the stats. I built a squad. This is my most capped players right now. I know I've sold a few players that had a lot of caps on, but these 23 are the most capped players. Gareth Barry is still one of my most capped players. How crazy is that? I think he might be the lowest capped player, but over 1,000 games with Hazard. Smalling is there. If you want to pause this, you can see it. Sterling, Chan, Costa over 500, Walcott over 500, Zlatan 420, Alonso 380, Suarez 380, Lacazette 370, although he won't get any game time now that I've got that 89 untradeable Lacazette. Bailly 350, Firmino 351. He has been amazing for me this weekend league. I've never been more impressed with a player. I kept noticing him all the time. Literally all the time. So I'm very happy to be using him. Nainggolan also 351, Reed 340, Fernandinho 320, Dele Alli 300, and now potentially if I do the SBC there won't be many more games for him. Seamus Coleman 260, Chadley 230, Gareth Barry 217, David De Gea 204, and Lukaku 142. And this man is the best player in my team. I know I change my opinion on who the best player is quite a lot. This man is just a monster. It's such a shame he doesn't have 4-star skill moves, but I prefer him to Ibrahimovic, which is crazy, but it's true. I can't wait for his team of the season. I can't wait for Ibra's team of the season. I don't know how I'm going to get them into the squad. I'll fit them into the squad some way, somehow. But this, guys, will be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.